NBA superstar Jayson Tatum, he led the Boston Celtics to a championship last month, as we know, and now they are showing him the money big time.
As they should, Nate.
That's right, Gil. According to various reports, Tatum has agreed to a 5-year, $314 million deal. That's the largest contract in NBA history.
As they say, the internet is undefeated.
Guess we'll never know.
Tatum described his benching for the entire Serbia game as a quote-unquote humbling experience.
Team USA owes Jayson Tatum an apology. This man is an NBA champion, first-time All-NBA member, led the champion team in points, rebounds, and assists, in a playoff run where they only lost a total of 3 times. Not to mention, he also graced the cover of Sports Illustrated, as well as the cover of NBA 2K25. But the way Team USA have treated him, you'd think he was a college Christian Laettner in the Dream Team. But let's just see how hard JT has been disrespected. And boy, it is definitely worse than it looks. So much so that it could have long-standing effects on Tatum's career, and could even ruin this current Boston Celtics core. You probably spend a lot of time in NBA YouTube, and if you don't, if you're new to the community, hey, welcome. Expect a lot of great content and hours of entertainment, but also a lot of disrespect. Because if you have spent a lot of time in this community, you know that Jayson Tatum has become one of the most disrespected figures in basketball. He's been disrespected, even before this season. That's the negative of starting so bright, so early. Starting off his career leading the young Celtics to the conference final, taking LeBron to 7 games, dunking on the man. I guess every season after that has to have championship expectations. However, what we got were game-winning blocks from Bam Adebayo, multiple conference finals losses against those underhanded Miami Heat teams, including a choked 3-3 comeback and a gentleman's sweep against the Nets. He was called a choker, a shot chucker, a Kobe wannabe. Of course, they won't mention how he's made the conference finals 4 times since prior to 2024, or how he scored 46 points in a Game 6 against the Bucks to overcome a 2-3 deficit, or how he scored a record 51 points in Game 7 against an MVP Embiid, also coming back from a 2-3 deficit. People love to hate, particularly when a guy still hasn't broken through that glass ceiling, despite doing so much. Here's the thing though, JT has just broken through the glass ceiling. The Boston Celtics are your 2024 NBA champions, with Tatum being the team's primary ball handler and playmaker, while also being arguably their best wing defender. However, in a pretty incredible and unprecedented phenomenon, Jayson Tatum has somehow gotten more hate and more disrespect now that he's an NBA champion. The Kobe wannabe chants grew even louder, especially when this picture got released, and people were immediately on JT, allegedly trying to recreate this iconic Kobe photo. Which is, first of all, why the hell are y'all clowning this dude for trying to pay tribute to his idol? Millions of people do it around the world daily, but when JT does it, it's corny, right? Second, Tatum's pick isn't even similar to the Kobe one. When people want to hate, they find ways, man. Saying that, JT didn't really help his case much with this.
Oh my God, we did it!
Or this.
What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now?
There's also the small factor of him shooting pretty terribly for pretty much the entire postseason. Counting stats were decent-ish, but 42% from the field, 28% from beyond the arc is just not that great. Not great at all for a guy who's supposed to be the franchise player. In relation to that, it just wasn't as dominant a playoff run as people would have liked from JT. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Definitely good, great stats, but it's nowhere near runs like, say, 2018 LeBron, 2023 Joker, 2019 Kawhi. Hell, JT didn't even win Finals MVP, nor the Eastern Conference MVP, a fact that a lot of haters will never shut up about. Despite that though, JT was on the cover of Sports Illustrated and is the cover athlete for NBA 2K25. He got paid handsomely too, with the biggest contract in the history of basketball. 5 years, $315 million. As far as he's concerned, those fans can talk shit about him all they like. He can't hear him above his nice crib, where he's set up very nicely with Deuce and LMA. That's not all that happened this summer though. He was also recruited to be part of the Team USA Avengers, putting him in the company of the likes of LeBron, KD, and Curry. We didn't know what his role was going to be with the team. He'd be hard-pressed to be a starter since he'd be competing with LeBron and KD. Nevertheless, you'd expect the franchise player of the recent NBA champion team to get ample playing time, even off the bench, right? Coach Steve Kerr left Jayson Tatum on the bench in their first game against Serbia. Wow. I mean, disrespect from the fans on the internet, from the talking heads on sports television, that's whatever. Nothing a multi-million-dollar athlete can tune out or whatever. But this is different. This is an NBA coach, a coach that's won multiple NBA championships, someone who gets paid to actually manage these guys, someone who has legitimately large influence over these players. Their careers, this dude may seem harsh, but Steve Kerr and Team USA absolutely disrespected Jayson Tatum by giving him 0 minutes for the whole game against Serbia. 0, nil, nada, no burn whatsoever. I understand that these are the best current Americans in one team, the best collection of talent, arguably ever, but Jayson Tatum is one of the best players in the world. Arguably top 5 to 7, maybe higher. And again, he just came from a historically great championship run, which saw him get the most lucrative deal in the sport's history. And I'll bring up the Sports Illustrated and the 2K covers again, just to emphasize what a fall from grace Coach Kerr and Team USA just facilitated.
He's a total pro. He's, first team All-NBA 3 years in a row. I felt like an idiot not playing him.
Well, he's been proven right, so props to him. The US handily beat Serbia in that game. LeBron James and Kevin Durant having excellent games. KD in particular literally couldn't miss. But even so, what could the harm have been in putting Jayson Tatum in the game? The US would still have won by a wide margin for sure. Maybe even more because Tatum is an elite player. There's no doubt about that. And there would have been no questions asked, no controversy whatsoever. Instead, we're here talking about it. And it's because it's so absurd and just opened up a ton of doors for controversy. Number 1, haters are just given a new shot to fire at JT. You can bet that shot of him on the bench, it's gonna be on Miami Heat comment sections for a while. Number 2, it opened up Kerr to some criticism and even accusations of getting one over Tatum to get him back after that embarrassing 52-point loss to the Celtics. Number 3, it really seems like part of one big plot by a lot of interested parties to try and ruin the Boston Celtics. First, it was the non-inclusion of Jaylen Brown in the initial Team USA lineup, with another Celtic in Drew Holiday getting the call-up. Then it was Brown's non-inclusion in the team as a replacement for Kawhi Leonard, where the team decided to get another guy in Derek White to fill in. Drew and Derek White are no doubt excellent pieces for Team USA to have. Both players were incredibly valuable in the Celtics' run to the championship. But Brown is literally the most valuable player of that team, and he was left off the plane twice. And now this? Jayson Tatum, after clinching Game 5 to win the championship, signing the biggest deal in NBA history, getting on the covers of Sports Illustrated and 2K, has to deal with being stuck on the bench for Team USA's opener? Yes, Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant, he's a known Olympic marksman, but he hasn't played organized basketball before that game, since being swept by Ant in the first round of the playoffs. At least split the minutes, Steve. It's not a stretch to say that Tatum deserves some game time after what he's accomplished. Drew and Derek White got a lot of burn that game too, and they did real well. So now they've got all that in their heads. These Celtic guys will have to still keep their egos in check. This has been an issue with the Celtics in the years prior to this past season. And now Jaylen Brown has the snub to think about. Jayson Tatum has the benching to think about. These are things that might affect the synergy of the C's next season. And it's something that JT in particular might take into consideration when thinking of passing it out to an open shooter or settling for a Kobe-esque contested fadeaway. This disrespect can go way beyond Team USA, and it has the repercussions of stopping this Tatum-lead Celtics dynasty before it really takes off. But if there's anything that Tatum has shown this past season is that he's really learned not to let his ego get in the way. He's become such a great facilitator and a much more all-around player to be that ideal small forward to the Celtics. He's shown that all-around game this playoffs. And when he was given the chance with Team USA, boom, double-double. So whatever Team USA was trying to pull with benching Jayson Tatum, they're just stirring up more controversy, while also giving a great player who can play a crucial role in this team a reason to be unhappy. So it's pretty fair to say that Team USA owes Jayson Tatum an apology.